A few months ago, I woke up at some hour I could not name, and my cat was lying against my back. Not curled, not stretched out, just pressed there, completely still. And I remember thinking, she has never slept like that before. Then I started paying attention, and I realized your cat is doing the same thing to you. The way your cat sleeps near you is not a random shape. It is a small report, and it is different tonight than it was last month. Most owners look this up once, find a list of positions, decide their cat is a curled-up cat, and stop looking. By the end of this, you will be able to read your own cat instead of matching them to somebody else's chart. There are 5 things to watch, and none of them are the pose itself. No fluff, no fear, just what is actually there to see. And stay with me, because the 5th one only appears when you compare tonight to a few weeks ago, and it tells you the most. Sign 1. Watch the walk, not the landing. Before your cat settles, they do a short circuit. Up the side of the bed, a pause, a couple of steps, another pause, then down. The information is in the walk. They are choosing between spots they already know, and they are ranking them. Penny Bernstein and Mickie Strack followed 14 cats living together in one house and mapped where every one of them rested. What they found was that the cats did not each own a favorite place. They shared the good places and they took turns. A resting spot in a home is not property. It is a slot in a schedule. So, when your cat circles you before lying down, they are not being fussy. They are checking whether tonight's best option is still the best option. Here is the small thing nobody mentions. They almost always pause with their weight on their front paws and their back end still up for about a second before they commit. That pause is the decision, and it gets shorter over time. Sign 2. How much of them is put away? Now look at what your cat has closed off. Paws tucked under, tail wrapped around, belly hidden, chin down. Or paws loose, legs out, belly somewhere in the open air. Do not think of this as 2 types of cat. Think of it as a dial. Every cat runs the whole range, and the setting changes with the room, the weather, the noise outside, and how the day went. The belly is the honest part. Cats let almost anything else be touched before they leave that uncovered, and a cat who has left it open has decided nothing in this room is a threat. But a tucked cat has not rejected you. A tucked cat is warm or unsure about a noise, or simply cold on a night the heating went off early. It is a reading of the room. Quick one before the next sign. Tell me in the comments how your cat sleeps near you tonight. I read every single one. And the next sign surprised me most because it separates a cat who likes you from a cat who has filed you under family. Sign 3. Contact, or just the same room. There is a real line between a cat sleeping near you and a cat sleeping touching you, and it is bigger than it looks. I went looking for whether anyone had actually measured this, and Sharon Crowell Davis has. Her work on how cats organize themselves socially found that cats rest in physical contact only with the individuals they have chosen as preferred companions, not everyone in the house, not whoever happens to be nearby. A short list. So a paw on your ankle is doing something a cat asleep at the other end of the bed is not doing. It is not a stronger version of the same signal. It is a different signal. And this tells you something about the whole household, not just about you. If there are other people or other animals at home, notice who gets contact and who gets proximity. Cats keep that list quietly, and they keep it consistently. Your cat decided a long time ago that they love you, and all they are deciding tonight is where they are safest. Sign 4. How many times they resettle. Here is the part almost nobody counts. Your cat does not sleep through the night in one go. Giuseppe Piccione and his colleagues tracked cats around the clock and found their rest comes in many short bouts spread across the day and night rather than one long block. So every night your cat wakes, decides, and settles again over and over, and most of it happens while you are unconscious, which means the number of times they resettle is a real measurement. A cat who shifts once or twice and stays is comfortable. A cat who gets up, moves, comes back, and gets up again is telling you something in the room is not quite right. Light from a hallway, a radiator that clicks, a window that goes cold at 4 in the morning. None of it dramatic, all of it fixable, and one detail you only catch if you are half awake for it. When they resettle properly, they exhale as they go down. When they are unsettled, they do not. Sign 5. The change is the message. This is the one I promised you at the start, and it matters more than the 4 above it put together. Everything so far gives you a single night, and a single night is not information. Your cat sleeping tucked every night for 2 weeks after 6 months of lying loose and open tells you a great deal. This is where the list approach fails people. because a list gives a fixed answer for a fixed shape, and your cat is not a fixed shape. Think of it like handwriting. Nobody reads one letter and decides what kind of person wrote it. You read the page, and then you notice when the handwriting changes. The skill is knowing your own cat's normal well enough that a change stands out. And you already have most of it because you have watched this animal sleep for years and were simply never told that it counted. Here is what to do, and it takes about 4 seconds a night. Before you turn the light off, notice 3 things: where they landed, how tucked they are, and whether they are touching you. Do that for a couple of weeks and you have a baseline, and after that, the changes announce themselves. A cat who suddenly wants far more contact has noticed something before you did. A cat who suddenly wants far less has usually had something change in their body or their room. The moment you explain a change instead of noticing it, you have thrown away the only information your cat gave you for free. The honest truth. Now the part I actually wanted to get to. If your cat has never slept on you or near you, not once, this is not a video about how you failed. I got this wrong for a long time, and it made me feel like a worse owner than I was. I assumed a cat who sleeps pressed against someone loves them more than a cat who sleeps across the room. Some cats sleep alone because they run hot. Some because of how their first few months went, which you had no part in. Some because your bed is high and their joints are older than they look. That last one is the quiet one. A cat who has stopped getting up onto the bed has often not stopped wanting to. They have stopped being able to, and it reads to us as distance, which is why, if your cat's sleeping habits change and stay changed, a calm vet check is worth doing. Not because something is wrong, but because that is the one cause you cannot see from the doorway. So, tonight, before you turn the light off, watch the walk. Watch the paws with their weight on their front paws, the one that gets shorter the longer they have known you. Watch how much of themselves they put away and whether any part of them is touching you. And then tomorrow night, watch again. Not to decode a pose, to learn your cat's handwriting well enough that you would notice if it changed. Nobody else in the world is going to read this cat, because only you were ever in the room. Tell me in the comments what your cat did tonight. I read every single one. If this made you look at your cat a little differently, like helps YouTube show honest cat information to the next owner still guessing. And if you would rather understand your cat than match them to a chart, that is the whole reason this channel exists. I'll see you in the next one.